Welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now let's hear it for our special guest host, Adam and Beth Katz.
Alrighty. Good morning, Alliance Nation. Happy Friday to you. We are fired up to be chatting with you this morning. We got three incredible leaders and guests and teams growing by leaps and bounds joining us this morning. Beth and I are here in Wilmington. And just, what first week off convention. I always love the first week off convention because there's so much energy and, people are optimistic and they have their goals written out and, people texting you and calling you and, hey, you got 5 minutes here. I sent you this, I sent you that. Let's go over this. And it's exciting because there's hope. And when there's hope, you got a shot. Okay. When you don't have any more hope, that's when things are not going well for you. So that's why we do these events. That's why we go. That's why we really look at our business from convention to convention. What do you do in 90 days, pour everything you got, leave it all on the field, and then get recharged at the conference, and then 90 days, let's hit the road. And this was a great one. And Beth, what are you excited about coming off family reunion?
I am so excited about the action that we're seeing people taking. So just those conversations of reaching out and wanting to do something different. I think for a lot of our team, it was a come to Jesus moment, of like, okay, I have been playing around with this, not giving it my 100%. I'm ready to go all in. And then this is what matters, is that they're actually doing something. Now, you don't go from 0 to 100 in one day. At least most people. Tim is the exception here. But most people don't go 0 to 100. And so just that increase in speed, because if you'll gradually do it more and let those activities compound, that's how you'll get to those goals that you're setting out for the next 30, 60, 90 days.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. And so before we get into our topic and before I introduce our guests today, our co-hosts today, they're not really guests, they're co-hosts. We're all doing this together. Let's do a couple quick announcements here. Contest. Andy Albright has inspired the carriers to start throwing more money at us, to throw more opportunities at us, and we ain't scared. One thing I always hear Andy talk about: are you scared of the work or are you scared of the money? We ain't scared of either. We'll do the work and we want the money. So the first contest is one that Andy is sponsoring. The Alliance is sponsoring itself. It is a recruiting contest. It is based on width and depth. You need both of them, as we like to say, BOFUM, which is both of them. And so basically it's a point. You get a point for getting them fast tracked. You get 1 point for fast track, 2 points for getting them contracted, 3 points for getting them to write their first business policy, and then 4 points for getting their first issue paid. Okay, so you can get up to 10 points per recruit. So if you go 10 wide, I can't do that, the thing with the lips that Andy's real good at. But if you go 10 wide, that's 100 points, and then you get points for depth. So you want to put them in width, and then you want to drive depth, help your people get people. And the top 15 in the recruiting contest are going to get bonus points for the trip to Portugal. Okay, so 10,000, number 15 will get 10,000 points, and number 1 will get 250,000 points. Do you understand this? If you go to all 4 events and you win the recruiting contest, you've won the trip. Basically, it's an all-expense paid trip for you and a guest to go to Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal, and then we're going to Porto for the extension. For those of you who do a little bit more than everybody else, there's going to be an extension, which you don't want to miss the extension, and it's just going to be incredible. But 250,000 points for number 1. Number 2 gets 220,000. Number 3 gets 180,000. It's a sliding scale all the way down to number 15 getting 10,000. But guys, focus on this. Get new people started. Get them in. Get them licensed, get them contracted, get them writing a policy, okay? And then help them build their business, because ultimately that's what we're trying to do. We get paid, the biggest businesses, the people making the most money, and don't get me wrong, we got some guys just killing it on personal production. Our top, you look at the top 10, and Tim Ogie is one of those in the top 10. He's got people, Austin Nantes up there, Jeremiah Adaki's number one. We have a lot of agents that are in that top 10 level of personal production, and they're making a boatload of money. I get to see how much they're making. they doing okay, if you're wondering. Don't cry for them. But also, you want a business that will create income for you while you're not having to be the number one producer the rest of your life. And so building width helps you get that business started. Driving depth helps you find leaders. And it's that width and depth. And we're going to talk more about that, because that was one of my big takeaways coming off of the convention, was the importance of width and depth and how much Andy emphasized it. Other contests going on, though. Mutual of Omaha is giving away 2 trips to the top Mutual of Omaha producers. So if you're writing other carriers, then you're not in the Mutual of Omaha contest. Okay, the Mutual of Omaha contest, the Alliance trip, the recruiting, doesn't matter what carrier they put their business with, they get issue paid with. Winning the trip to Portugal, doesn't matter which carriers. Almost all of the carriers contribute to the trip, so all the points count. But for the Mutual of Omaha contest, that is exclusive to Mutual of Omaha business. But they're going to be giving away 2 trips to the top producers for the time frame is July 24th, which was when Family Reunion started. So if you already had business submitted, you were ahead of the game, through October 15th, which is when boot camp starts, national boot camp starts. So you got a 3-month window to be the top personal producer. They're going to give away 1 veteran person, and then they're going to give away to the top rookie agent as well. I believe the top rookie is considered somebody who contracted this year, is considered the top rookie. Fun for that. So write some Mutual of Omaha. You don't have to get the 400,000 points that everybody else needs to get. You can just win that 90-day contest and get. I know our licensing partners, ExamFX and Excel, both have contests going on where they're throwing cash at us, and they're going to have drawings. So every time you get somebody signed up for class, you get another ticket in the drawing. I mean, it's just crazy. Corebridge always does contests. F&G has bonus money that they throw out there. NLG is giving away money left and right. It's just all of these carriers. They're all looking for. They want us. How nice is it to be wanted? You ever feel like nobody ever wants me? You get, and hey, all these carriers, they want your attention, they want your business, and that's an exciting thing. So more contests will be coming, and then National Boot Camp ticket prices, they're locked in through Saturday midnight East Coast time. So those of you on the West Coast, don't wait. Oh, I bought it before midnight. Yeah, that was 3 a.m. over here. You got to get it before midnight East Coast time to lock in at the discount prices. So those of you who are building businesses and you're going to be recruiting a lot of people between now and National Boot Camp, and you're going to be bringing a big team with you to National Boot Camp, go ahead and buy a few extra tickets at the discount rate, because you might not be able to find any discounted tickets later. Once the price goes up, the price goes up. So I would, Beth and I, we always buy extra tickets because we're always planning on growing. And so we're not always having to scramble the last week before the conference looking for tickets from somebody else who might have overshot their goal. And so we'd rather just have the tickets ourselves, so we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to stress it. So I would encourage you to go ahead and buy some extra tickets. The new ticket price is $99 for if Family Reunion was their first event. National Boot Camp is still $99, or if National Boot Camp is their first event, they can get a $99 ticket. Otherwise, it's $399 for people who have been to more than 2 conferences, and VIP is already sold out, so we don't need to talk about VIP. So anyway, those are your commercials. This activity call is sponsored by all of those things. So let's first just kind of go round robin, introduce yourself. Let's start with this. Tim, we'll start with you. Just quick background and kind of where you are in the Alliance hierarchy. And in terms of what Tim just went on stage, got his board member ring. We were so proud of him, and what his team is doing is just crazy. And then give me your biggest takeaway from Family Reunion that you got from the weekend. Tim, we'll start with you, then we'll go Milly, then Jamie. Just so you guys know, that's how you guys are shaped on my screen.
Thank you so very much indeed, Mr. Adams, for this wonderful opportunity. I want to say good morning to everybody on the call this morning. Wherever you're joining us from, this is another privilege for me to be here this morning. And yes, like you know, maybe not everybody, but just for those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Ambassador Tim Ogie. I'm based in Dallas, Texas, and where I am calling out from this morning. You know, sometimes when some people call me, they ask me, where exactly are you at right now? All right, because I'm always, traveling here and there, so, and by tomorrow I'm going to be in California, and the next week I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, and that next weekend I'm also going to be in Houston, then going from there to Maryland and Ohio and all of that. August is loaded and it's tight. And I'm a junior board member too, on the Alliance platform, and I love it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I didn't see that coming because I was just, doing my job, helping people, helping families, and also helping my business grow. And the promotion, comes, because that's kind of what's the reward for hard work. All right, the reward for hard work is more work, is to do more work. Like we always tell people. Now, 3 things that I got out of the family reunion conference that we just concluded. It was 1, hard work. Hard work pays. That's number 1. You've got to put in the work and keep putting in the work. It doesn't matter what you have achieved, don't play too. In other words, don't tell yourself that you have arrived. You've got to put in some more work. All right. Some people, they're having that kind of struggles, when they attain to a certain level in life and business and anything that they do, they tend to relax. They tend to sit back and say, come on now, I'm there already. There are a lot of people who are above where you are right now, so, except you don't have the desire to go further than where you are. So one of the things that I took out of the conference.
Nope. Tim froze up. All right, I'm sure he'll be right back to us. You must be having a little internet issues. Milly, let's go ahead and jump down to you. And same thing, a little bit about your background and what you took out of family reunion.
Good morning, Alliance family. My name is Milly Kammerdiener. I want to thank the Albright family. I want to thank my immediate, which is Rabia Molgabar and Spencer Albright, my growing up line. My background is in real estate and mortgages. And about 4 years ago, my husband and I decided to open a PNC agency. He's back.
Tim, you back?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what went wrong. Can you see me?
Yeah, we got you now, Tim.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what went wrong. I think that was due to network problem. I don't know, internet. So should I continue?
No, yeah, keep rolling.
Now
we'll go back to Milly after. So hard work pays. We got hard work pays.
Yeah. Now you've got to also be consistent to doing whatever you're doing. All right, like there's this what I call the staying power. You've got to stay put. If it is working, stay put. If it is not working, stay put. Keep doing what you're doing. Do not stop. Do not stop, because this is very important for you and for everybody. Because sometimes when you start doing stuff, from the very beginning, you might be having some little hiccups here and there. It might not be working the way you expect it to work. Stay at it. Keep doing what you're doing. Like I tell people in my local parlance, this business is like walk, pay. Walk, pay. Walk, pay. Then walk, pay. Then it gets to a point, it begins to pay you every week. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the point I'm at right now. I'm on the pay cycle, but a couple of months ago, it wasn't like that. I remember telling a few folks, about 3 months ago, and I told them that in 3 months from now, that was about 3 months ago, going to 4 months ago, I said in 3 months from now, the minimum amount I want to be making every month will be $200,000 or $250,000. Trust me, this month I made $183,000. The power of spoken words is not just enough to say the word, but you've got to put in the work. Things work for workers. If you don't put in the work, it ain't gonna work. I try as much as possible to duplicate whatever I'm doing on my downlines. Now we're back from the family reunion. One thing about going to events like this, when people are in the event, different speakers coming up on stage to say one or two things, people get inspired and get motivated. But after the event, the fire goes out. If you are building a team, that is when you should put in more work to keep inspiring your team, members of your team. Call for a meeting. Look at what is not working. Look at ways to change it. Look at ways to make it better than what you were doing before now. Now, I just had a team meeting and I'm having one-on-one meeting with my team members. I'm interested in their growth because in their growth lies my growth. Let's win together, Swan. This is possible if only you can put in the work. And the last thing that I took out of this, conference is resilience. We are just like interconnected. Resilience. You've got to keep doing it. Sometimes you feel so discouraged. Sometimes, you have one strategy that worked for you the last time. You want to continue with that strategy, and while doing that, it's not working anymore. You tend to feel discouraged. It happens. It's natural to be discouraged, but you've got to keep talking to yourself. Sometimes there's a little, or less that I can do encouraging you, but you've got to encourage yourself. You are the best, cheerleader of yourself. It gets to a point nobody's there to encourage you. You've got to encourage yourself. If this thing is working for others, it's going to work for me. It must work for me. And if you stay put, it's going to work for you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you allow me to talk, I talk for a living, I talk for money, I keep on talking and talking. Let me hang it out there. Thank you so much.
We'll get back to you, Tim. We'll get back to you later on. We got some specific questions that we're gonna all handle. So those are, I got hard work. Hard work pays. That's important. Be consistent. Stay put. Bloom where you planted is how some of us rednecks say it. Bloom where grow where you are, and just just stay focused and keep working on the things will work, and then resilience. Be able to bounce back. Tim. A lot of people would be looking at you and being like, "There's no way that man's ever felt discouraged." First of all, listen to him. Look at the way he's dressed, and then listen to him talk. And then he's made $183,000. He went junior board member 2 in 8 months. When has this man had time to get discouraged? But I love that you said it, because people need to understand I don't care what level you are. If you don't think Andy Albright has moments of doubt and moments of discouragement that he's had to bounce back from, then you don't understand human nature. We're all people, and the thing is, I've heard it explained this way. If you're trying to get from here to here, and there's a line from where you are to where you're trying to get to, we're all gonna fall off the line. That's just, there's no way to stay on the line the whole time without falling. So it's not, the problem isn't getting off the line. The problem is how long you stay off the line. How quickly can you get back on the line of doing the right things to get to your destination? So Milly, back to you. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background and what you got cooking and what you got out of family reunion.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam and Beth. Like I was saying, direct to Spencer Albright, Robbie Almorgabar, I just want to thank God for the opportunity to be here. I was kind of surprised. I was like, you sure you didn't say Mimi? No. But I love the alliance, and that you guys call it a family, because that is big for me, and I took advantage of that. I have since 2 years ago when I came to NotCon, I blessed the day that Clay Spencer, Kathy, and Fred, I'm going to try to say their name, Ogionwo, walk into my office, right? And they convinced me, because I had tickets to go see Tim Tebow. And I was like, I got to go see my boy. But they're like, no, you cannot miss NatCon. And I was like, well, they convinced me, and I drank the Kool-Aid, and I went with my husband, Corey. And since then, I have not missed one event. Now, that first event, I bought a regular ticket, but after I realized, wait a minute, the winners are sitting in the front. Now, let me tell you something. I felt a little bit of imposter syndrome, because I'm like, I'm sitting here around, I turn around, there's like top producers. But one thing that I learned from one of my mentors is there is power in the room. Be in the room. And so I got my VIP ticket, and since then, that's what I've been doing. It's because I need to be, rubbing elbows with people. One of the things that I take off from the Alliance is that, and it has been, I have witnesses. If you're not direct, I'm not direct to Adam. I'm not direct to Adaki. I'm not direct to Tim, but I follow like a shadow Adaki for a year. I'm like, I found out that he's going to be in Georgia. I'm going to be there. And because I needed to learn, what is it that this man is doing? Why is it so infectious? And it's the conviction, right? So my first thing is the connection. This last event, I didn't book a hotel. In Thailand, I made a connection with Payal and Kumtal, and I stayed at their home. I genuinely wanted to know what, and they're in my same group, and I learn about their culture, I learn about their business, I learn about their kids, their family. And next time that they're in Houston, guess what? They have a whole section of my house that they can stay on. So connection to me was the first thing that I actually reiterated. Like I knew that, because every time I would talk to anybody, but this time it just reinforced that. Another thing is, if you stay ready, you don't have to be ready, right? This is the first time that I believe the Alliance did a seminar for the help me out, the Medicare. The Medicare, yes. And so I have clients that have been asking for the information. So now I already did the planning, the estate planning. I haven't done estate planning myself. I've actually helped others in my line to do, but I've never done it with the formal way. I have past clients, and that's what I've been trying to do. But the Medicare was the first time. So when I got back to Houston, sorry, the sun just glared.
God is shining on you, Milly.
God is shining on me, and I know He is. So let me move a little bit. So as soon as I got back to Houston, guess what? I implemented my very first estate planning with a past client. And, I planted seeds, and a lot of times people are not ready to listen to you, but you got to keep planting those seeds, right? So that's one of the things that I took from the, but one thing I did, I was running off from downstairs to talk to Mo, just because I had questions about the estate planning. So I was kind of like double dipping, but that room was super, super busy, and I didn't want to be late in the morning, but it's one of those things that, and this is before the event, guys. This is like Thursday and Friday before the event. There was so much going on. I don't know what's going on with the sun here. And then back to the basics. Oh, another thing that, because we get to read this, right? We get to read it, but then you don't study it. And I was like, okay, there's a shorter version, by the way. And so I needed to go back to the basics. Okay, what am I not doing? I'm not reading consistently. Am I not putting in the work? Am I not, listening or communicating with a positive attitude? Because sometimes, life gets to you. And what I feel that God's still screaming at me, not telling me, screaming at me, write your goals. Write your goals. But be specific. I wrote my goals at the end of the year. I read this book last year. And I thought I did a good job, but then y'all go deeper onto it. And I was like, I did a bad job. So I had to reanalyze myself and really stay connected. And I just want to thank God for the opportunity to actually meet you guys, because in my business, real estate, right? I thought I was helping people, put them in the homes, and I do loans, so I'm giving them mortgages. But now I can say, hey, listen, I see you got all this money. I had a lady one time that she made $300,000 of the sale of a home, and she put that money in the bank. Like, what? And she didn't know. She didn't know what to do with that money. At that point, I'm able to say, listen, let me help you a little bit more, right? And so I just, be consistent, write your goals. If you stay ready, you don't have to be ready. And I just praise God for the day that Spencer, Kathy, and Clay and Fred walk into my office in North Houston, because that extended my family. And I just thanks Robbie Robbie was one of my agents in real estate. So it's all about connection. It is important.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So connection, stay connected to the people, especially the people growing. Everybody's got an opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to listen to their opinion. So one of the things Andy's always taught me is, check out the ring they got, check out the level they're at, check out, are they standing against the back wall? Those guys have the most opinions. The ones who are standing outside of the room instead of being in the room. The ones standing against the back wall instead of being sitting in their seats and paying attention. Who are you listening to? That's one of the big things. So staying connected, but also staying connected to the right people. Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. Love that. And stay in the basics. Stay in the basics. I forget who. I think John Wooden said, if you never leave the basics, you don't have to go back to basics. So just stay focused on the basics and just do this. I always tell people this. What we do is very simple. This business is a very simple business. It's not easy. Simple means it's not complicated. Easy means it doesn't take effort. This takes a lot of effort. Like Tim was talking about, the hard work. The hard work gives you the rewards, the results. So it's not easy to do, but I wasn't looking for easy. I was just looking for worth it. But it is very simple. It's Andy's condensed everything down into the 8 steps to success, into the Millionaire Maker Manual. He's condensed down what we do into these 2 books. Now we just got to read it and then do it and apply it. Jamie, I love what your dad says. Information without implementation is entertainment. And while we wanted to entertain over the weekend, we also want to give you information that you can implement so that you can grow your business. So I think that's a good segue to bring on our last contestant, bring on our last co-host. Jamie, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you got at a family reunion.
Yes, good morning, Alliance family. I'm Jamie Coleman, direct to James and Angie Coleman. This event was absolutely life-changing. So far, I've only been to 2 since my parents had came back into the company. I wasn't able to go to Stations to Success because I was in the military, had duty. I'm a full-time. Thank you so much. I'm a full-time college student. I'm in flight lessons. I'm doing the military. I'm actually going to head out after this call to report to duty this evening. And I'm also building this business. So 3 takeaways from family reunion is definitely mindset was the biggest one that stood out to me, specifically what Jim Craig said, take advantage of the opportunities that other people provide for you. And Andy has provided this business for us to get free, to help others, to make income, all those carriers that are helping us, running contests, all the lead vendors, definitely taking advantage of those opportunities to help people and also get free. Also, this family reunion also emphasize the importance of recruiting and building. And I realized that I could do a better job in terms of recruiting and building this team, because right now the people that I personally bring into the business is all warm market. So I want to get better at doing the 3-foot rule and definitely getting out my comfort zone, because strangers have your money. So I want to talk to more people and bring more people into this business. And also activity really stood out to me. So I really need to get back to the basics of sell, recruit, and build if I want to get free and also help others and get to where I want to go in this business, and making sure I focus on those 3 things at a high level. Awesome.
And what you just got did you get a promotion or did you get your ring? What level were you recognized at, Jamie?
I did. I just promoted to district manager.
District manager. Yeah. So she's full-time college student. She's in the military. She's taking flight classes because she wants to fly for the military. And she's qualified district manager.
Oh yeah.
That, Jamie, what you got going on?
And every time people tell me, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, every time people tell me they don't have time to do stuff, I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff and I still have time to do this business. So there's really no excuse. You make time for what you want to make time for. So it just shows people where the priorities are at.
Thank you. We could stop the call there. We're not going to. I promised them 30 more minutes. So we're gonna keep going. But that right there, and guys, one of the reasons why we try and have a diverse group of people doing the calls and all of this stuff is because we want you to know their stories. We want you to know the background. One of the best, Milly mentioned connections. Well, if you're not on these calls, if you're not going to the conferences, if you don't know other people's stories, how can you connect somebody with somebody that has similarities going with them? And so that's why these calls are so important to you, because I'm sure a lot of people in Alliance Nation didn't know that Jamie is in college and the military and flight school and still able to build a business to district manager. So when you have somebody saying I don't have time, just shoot her a text and put her on the phone with your agent for 3 minutes. Well, I don't have her number. Oh, you didn't get her number? You didn't make a friend before you needed a friend? What do you think these conventions are for? It's for you to network. It's for you to get that education. It's for you to do those things. So take advantage of all of that also, because we are one. A rising tide raises all ships. We don't care whose team you're on. We just want everybody to grow, because a win for one organization is a win for the other organizations. And we understand that. A win for the Riddle team is a win for the Leventovich team, a win for the Davies team, a win for the Katz team, the Nwabuniki team. We all succeed because being able to point to Jamie as an example of what you can accomplish at a year. How old are you, Jamie?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 in November.
She can't even order a drink yet, legally. And she's accomplished all that. You are such an inspiration, Jamie. You are an excuse eliminator. All three of you guys are excuse eliminators for people. Tim became the fastest to junior board member, less than 8 months, and he's qualified junior board member too. We had a lot of recognition at this event. It was a lot of fun for us. We had Stella and Anthony Nwabuniki are the fastest to senior board member 2. They're part of the organization. And then Jeremiah Adaki is the fastest to get to senior board member. And so we have 2 new members, 2 new board members are part of this organization. The Coleman team got a lot of recognition throughout, at the award ceremonies as well. I mean, it's just, if you don't think it's working, then I would tell you to look around and pay attention, because it is working. And we're crystal clear on why it's working. I carry 2 things with me on a daily basis. I carry this little rock that says, "The Lord is my rock." You can't see it, but it's there. And it says Psalms 18:2, because I know where the blessings come from. And this keeps me grounded and keeps my ego in check, thinking that if I think we're doing something special, I know the blessings come from God's hand in our business. I love what Tim said. He said God's finger is on our business, that we don't even have the whole hand yet. Can't wait for that. So I carry that with me. And then I also I just started carrying this one. This is a commemorative 25th anniversary coin. I was carrying the other success coin that Andy had printed up, talking about what do you want and how do you get it. And so when I start getting those feelings of discouragement or frustration or even boredom, I just reach in my pocket, touch the coin, and it's just like, right, what do I want? How do I get it? How I got it is I got to go back to work. I got to focus. This is my focus mechanism. And so I love that. So Beth, talk to us about what were some of the things you took away from family reunion, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do over the next 30 days to really give people some action steps that they can apply to themselves and their business.
Absolutely. So it's kind of already been mentioned, but what has been true for us, our whole journey with the Alliance, and what just gets reinforced every time we get together, is that power of relationships. and I'll tell you, like, I was dealing with something personally. As it came into convention, I knew that Noelle Leventoch was staying at the same hotel we were. And so I just sent her a text. I'm like, hey, when you get in, I could use a hug. And so 11 o'clock at night, she lands and she's like, hey, I'll meet you in the lobby. And so we had a few minutes. I was like able to, sometimes you just got to get off what's in you. And so I was able to do that. She gave me that great big hug. And here's the other thing that, she had to stop while we were talking and take a call because they were dealing with stuff too. And I think it's that reminder that you're not alone in your stuff. Everybody's got stuff. We say if something's going on, there's probably two things going on. There's always going to be trouble. So knowing that you've got the people that you can just say, hey, give me a call. Andy says that if you got crummy in your tummy or you got yummy in your tummy, like call somebody, share your celebrations. Madison, that works in our office, did a dial session last night. I think he did 87 dials, bang, bang leads, and he booked 9 contacts and booked 5 appointments. He's brand new going out into the field. That's awesome. So that's the relationship piece. I'm also going to mention the urgency piece because, hey, I did hear, y'all heard through the grapevine that 50-cent lead deal from Bang Bang that was supposed to end Wednesday night is actually still live till midnight tonight. It was a mess up in the system, but it's still there. So if you didn't act with urgency coming out of convention, act with urgency now. Do what you can do. I think one of the best questions you can ask yourself as you're thinking about what do you want and how do you get it? What is your business requiring of you right now? What's that next best action that you can take to move your business forward? And when you're focusing on those goals, that does helps give you the blinders. So the other stuff can't impact you as much because you're focused strictly on that goal and that next right step.
Absolutely. And I wanted to give a shout out also, Ann Tendung, Executive Vice President, part of our organization also. Did not want to leave that one out.
And Yada
Karoma, part of Tim's organization. He has a new agency manager. Matt Hughes got his agency. I mean, it's just celebration after celebration after celebration after celebration. And but I will also tell you guys this: we have gone to a lot of conventions on fumes, on empty. This one we went charged up, turbocharged because of all the growth and everything going on throughout the organization. And so it's easy to go to conventions when you're on a high. It's harder. It's that resilience that Tim was talking about. We've gone to a lot of conventions where we were sucking fumes and wondering, what are we even doing? Questioning everything about it. And if you've been there or you're currently there, stay put. Thank you. Stay put. Because you're in the right place at the right time, in the right markets with the right people and the right opportunity. And just because it wasn't your day today doesn't mean it won't be your day tomorrow, because we get to define our futures. We get to create our new futures. And so it's coming for you if you'll stay diligent in the basics, if you'll stay diligent in doing the work and not growing weary and doing that well doing. So definitely wanted to say that. All right. So I got a couple things here. Jamie, for you, I'm going to start with you. How important is your calendar? You have school, everything you said you already have working, and you're doing sales also. What are you doing sales, or are you just totally focused on recruiting?
So far, I've just been doing sales, but for the next 90 days, I'm going to focus more on recruiting.
Okay, so far you're just doing sales, yet you're still a district manager, so you have to have done some recruiting as well. And that's what that's the beauty of it. When you're growing, one of Andy's favorite sayings, every once in a while the Alliance will put together a book of Andyisms, and one of them is a dog in the hunt ain't got no fleas. Meaning, if you're when the dog is going after whatever it's going after, it does not notice anything else. We were in Africa for a safari, and the lions, we were looking at the lion sleeping, and it just had all these little flies all around its face, just sitting on it and all of that. And you know what? The lion is like, I don't care. You think a little fly is going to bother me? I'm a lion. That's what we heard it say. I'm a lion. These little flies don't mean nothing. And so, the idea that when you're focused on something, like Tim saying, he didn't even know, he just did the work and junior board member came. It wasn't like he targeted junior board member or junior board member level 2 as his target. He just did the work and the results happen. Jamie, you're just doing the work. And, oh, by the way, you're district manager. You're not even like, oh, I didn't even think I was recruiting yet. And here you are as district. So, but for you, as busy as you are, as many plates you have spinning in the air as you do, how important is it for you to work off your calendar? What does your calendar look like for the next 30 days?
So it's very important to make sure you have a set schedule and make sure your calendar is ready. So for me, it's easier because I already know when I have to report to duty. So I already have those days blocked out to where I might not be able to run business or recruit on those days. But for the next 90 days, I'm going to take 2 days out of the week to make sure I am recruiting and calling new agents, people that need to get licensed to make sure they're getting started. So that also helps with flying, making sure that's already in the schedule so there's no conflict. So I can't say, oh, I don't have time to, talk to people. I don't have time to write business. Make sure that there's always time to get those things done as well as my other priorities. So it's really important to have those things set on your calendar because if it's not set, it's bound to not happen.
So how often do you look at your calendar? Is that something you do on a daily basis? Are you one of those that makes a list the night before? Or you wake up in the morning and make a list? Are you somebody that just sits down Sunday night and maps out your whole week? Or do you do that for the month ahead? Talk to us more specifically about how you're managing your calendar to be as productive as you are in all the things you're doing.
Right. So definitely on the iPhone, comes with a calendar. Whenever I know I have something to do, I immediately put that into my calendar. If there's a doctor's appointment, I'm putting that into my calendar. If I need to write business for these amount of hours, I'm putting that into my calendar. Whenever I know I need to be doing X, Y, and Z, I'm putting that into my calendar as soon as it comes up because for me, sometimes I have a bit of a procrastination problem, so I want to make sure I'm getting those things done as soon as it comes to mind. So I don't forget, don't get lazy, don't get complacent, making sure those things are getting done when they're supposed to. So I'm always looking at my calendar every day, every couple of hours, making sure I'm getting done what I need to get done. Awesome.
And always updating it. So for those of us not 20 years old that aren't used to the technology and all of that, we still have the activity book that you can write your stuff down in your calendar, and then obviously you do it on a daily basis as well. And so whatever you're using, plan it out is the key. Know what you got going. You should never be surprised. One of the first things I say to brand new recruits or people we're talking to is this: hey, I need you to go ahead and put October 16th to the 18th on your calendar. That's going to be our next big conference. It's going to be in Burlington, North Carolina. We'll get you details on it later, but I need you to block it out on your calendar now so that you don't accidentally schedule a family reunion over that weekend or book a cruise or something like that. And making it important, telling people about the activity calls, telling people about the TWC, and about the next thing we got coming up, hotspots. Andy Albright's flying around. All your leaders are flying around. I was just fixing my August. I'm going to be in 8 different cities in August, meeting with people, doing meetings and doing trainings and things like that. But just in terms of hotspot, let me give this one a shout out. Next Tuesday night, August 4th, Andy Albright is flying in on the In-24/7 RU jet, and we're doing a joint. The Tuesday night is a hotspot, 7 to 11, and then Wednesday he's doing a boot camp from 12 to 4. We're going to have dignitaries from the Nigerian consulate are coming over because we have made such an impact, we've made an impact in the Nigerian community. The way I look at it, the Nigerian community has made such a big impact into the alliance. This organization, this culture has come in and just changed a lot of things, changed perspective on what can be done. And so we wanted to honor that. Where all Nigerian, everybody's invited, to be crystal clear, but especially all Nigerians, all Africans. That meeting is going to be, we're going to have representatives from the consulate coming over to speak as well. And Andy's just looking for ways to recognize and to partner and continue to grow the partnership that we have. So that's going to be next Tuesday night, 7 to 11, the 4th, and then on the 5th, boot camp, 12 to 4, with some Nigerian consulate representatives. So that was another commercial that we had. Got to pay the bills. Got to get the commercials. Tim, for this question is for you. Obviously, you and your organization have a tremendous amount of momentum. Your personal production is massive. Your team production, moving up the levels chart, has been faster than anybody in the company. What's the importance of building momentum? And then how do you capitalize on it to keep it going and to spread it to the rest of your organization?
Thank you so very much, Mr. Adams. Very quickly, I want to say this. Now, that was a very good question, and I want people to also learn, by the grace of God, looking at what we have achieved so far by the grace of God, and it all happened through a collective efforts, a teamwork. All right, so and that is what we'll keep doing. So like I did say earlier on, since we came back from the family reunion conference, we'll be having a series of meetings and strategizing and re-strategizing on how to make this whole thing better. Now, I'll tell you this, the first, I think that was it, the conference we had before the family reunion. What was the conference?
Stage to Success.
Yeah, Stage to Success. Stage to Success, I mobilized about 23 persons, agents, to that conference. You don't want to know what went into it financially. It's all about investing in your team, investing in a cause that you believe in. All right. So when some people tell me that, hey, I'm working so hard, I look at, I ask some fundamental questions. How much time, effort, and money, resources have you invested into this? Because I realize from the word go that is the amount of time, effort, resources you put into this business that determine to a large extent the results you're going to get out of it. If you put in 200%, you're going to get 10% results. But as for me, I'm putting 150%, if there's anything like that. So now when we came back from the Stage to Success, about 5 of those guys that are brought in there didn't have a license yet. They were just recruiting new recruits. But before the next event, they already got in their licenses. You see that now? And we brought in some people who ain't got their licenses yet from this family reunion. You see, now, there's the power of big events. When you bring people to big events to come see the bigger picture, it makes more sense to them. And when they come back, they get fired up. Some of my guys, I want to believe they are on this call right now. They are crazy right now. And the results I have seen within 1 week is less than a week from returning from the family reunion conference is mind-boggling, So, and I look forward to see something greater, something bigger than me. As a matter of fact, as I speak to you right now, 24 hours is not even enough for me to work. I used to think that I need just one personal assistant. From every indication, I need more than one. I'm already working on 2 personal assistant because the job is getting bigger and heavier on me. It's a good problem, though. This is the kind of problem you pray that God gives you. Have you ever heard of anything like that? A good problem. When God gives you a good problem, it's not something to break you or tear you up, completely, but it's something to build you. And trust me, we have been trying to, if you are listening to the sound of my voice and you are not anywhere right now, I want you to be able to build your capacity. Sometimes before God increases you, before the harvest will come, God will have you go through stuff to build your capacity so that you are ready and ready enough to handle what is to come. All right, so I've been preparing myself to for this. Okay, so now that's by the wayside. Now going forward, we have already, from the family reunion conference while we're still in North Carolina, I had a meeting with my team members. And a lot of them didn't come, but just like, I think that the number that came were 32. So we had a meeting and we said, come on now, you go back to your various stations, go with this fire. That talk was not enough. When we came back, I had another team meeting, Zoom meeting. Now, outside the Zoom meeting, I'm meeting them one after the other individually. You see that? That's the goal. That is the key. And you keep on talking, just like the good book says in Romans 10:17. Then faith coming by hearing, and consistent hearing of the word. Consistent. Keep at it. And for those you got to encourage, there are so many things we do behind closed doors that we don't bring to the open, just to encourage that team. And as a leader, do not just rely so much on your team. You've got to put in the work, because what they see you do is what rubs off on them. You see that there? So now there are some people, one of my guys made some money a couple of months ago, and close about $50,000. I said, team, I'm going to buy a house. I said, shut up, you don't need a house. You don't do that. When you're thinking of getting a house, I want you to have like $1 million in your account. What I do most especially is I do what I call delayed gratification. While we were putting in the work, just like Mr. Adam said, I was shocked when I got the call. Do you know what you are building towards now? You are a junior board member. I didn't even know how those chats work. We're just minding business. Until I got a call. So I had a geometric progression kind of stuff. And I don't even know how I'm going to get to senior board member, because, yes, the promotion is good, but I want to... I want a situation whereby in the next couple of months from now, if I don't make money in a month, I'll be making like $500,000. Yes, it is possible. Success and failure are product of the mind. As far as your eyes can see, that's what you're going to get at the end of the day. While you are putting in the word, God has his own part to play. And you also have your own part to play. And you can't walk it out all alone by yourself. You've got to go with the entire team. Now, we've recruited more than 8 persons since we came back from the family reunion. And the 8 persons, you see that now next week I've been told that 20 persons are coming from one block. I've been told that another 7 persons are coming from another block. I'm so super excited. Throughout the month of August, I'm going to be in my house for 3 days. You see that? Because I'm always going to, I have like 12 states to come between now and the first week of September. My calendar is already maxed out. So now, when you put in the work, like I often say, and I'll repeat it again for emphasis sake, nothing works for workers, but nothing works for those who do not put in the work. When you put in the work, you see the results. Even though the result is coming in slowly, gradually, keep at it. A time is coming, the result is going to be so massive. So this conference, it was another way of charging us up, and I'm ready, whether the conference come or not, I'm already charged up, so what you just need to do, you just get plugged into me and you get a fire, you catch the fire. So, but what I did was to get the people, so long as I'm able to get people in there. Now, we got 32 persons to this conference. Now, the next conference we're going to be having, that's the National Boot Camp. Now, we're looking at, I'm going to tell, the CEO and the Albright, between now and the next 1 year, I don't see that arm, take us anymore. We're going to break out of that place. You're going to be looking for another convention center that is bigger than that, because a tsunami is coming. But because, by the way, we're still testing the microphone. We've not started yet. We just tested the microphone. Thank you so very much.
Just a little tap, tap, tap. That is so awesome, Tim. I could listen to you talk all day. And I don't know the agenda. I don't know. The agenda has not been finalized by any means yet for National Boot Camp. But if you're enjoying listening to Tim, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a breakout session. National Boot Camp is going to have breakouts all over the place. It's very much choose your own adventure. And so keep an eye out for Tim's breakout session. That whatever he's going to be talking about is going to be smoking, no doubt about it. So thank you, Tim. And just so proud of your team and everything you're doing. And yeah, I loved what he said about staff. Not only does he need one assistant, he needs two assistants. And that's what staff represents. It's a chance to buy more hours in your day. See, you can only work 24 hours. But if you hire somebody to work 8 hours in your office taking care of the details that are tripping you up, then now you have 32 hours going into your business. You're 24 plus they're 8. And then if you hire 2 people, now you got 40 hours going in. And it's the same thing with building an organization. It's that concept of don't just develop salespeople, develop leaders. Because leaders find leaders. You look at what we've done, what we've been blessed with, Beth, and throughout that organization. I mean, just look at the line of leaders that we have. With Emily and Harry Cardillo, and they found Stella and Anthony Nwabuniki. And we didn't develop these people. We just gave them a platform that they could be successful in, and then we got out of their way. We gave them, and we kept developing ourselves as leaders so that it's, I think Tim might have said it earlier, you got to develop yourself so that you can work with people. And then what Anthony and Stella found in Jeremiah, and also now with Tim, and then Jeremiah found Bridget. And again, you start looking at leader backed by a leader. Bridget found Ann. You got a leader backed by a leader, backed by a leader, backed by a leader, backed by a leader. If you're wondering how to grow a large organization quickly, that's how you do it. You find good people having a bad day that want to do something bigger, we have Andy Albright has set us up with a platform that allows us to do that, and that allows people to come here and thrive. And it's not just through our organization. I mean, the Levin Tovich team is breaking records. The ABN team is breaking records. The Riddle team growing like leaps and bounds. The Manley Albright team, Brandon Manley, Spencer Albright. The Davies team has things going on crazy all over the country. I mean, it's happening everywhere. The Alliance is on fire. With the annuity volume has just gone crazy. The estate planning, Medicare season is coming up in a couple months, and we're going to dominate there also because that's what we do. People say, "Who's your biggest competition?" We don't have any. We don't have any competition. There's nobody has the opportunity we have. So Milly, back to you as we're wrapping up here and getting close on time. For you, what are some things you do specifically to hold yourself accountable? Because I know a lot of folks come out on fire like Tim is, and they get their calendar together. Now, so we have a plan. We put it on paper. Now we got to hold ourselves accountable to it. So what are some things that you personally do or that you can recommend people do to hold themselves accountable to be able to achieve these goals over the next 30 days?
So coming into the business, I was an incubator, right? So it took me longer, and Beth said it, urgency is what I'm dealing with right now. If I think about it and I've had 15 minutes, I'm doing it now, right? And so one of the things that I do for accountability right now is, again, I'm big in connections. I need to tell you what I'm doing so that I can do it, right? It's calendar it's a big one. If it's not I have many calendars. I have a master calendar. You can relate if you have kids, besides the kids, all other businesses, I'm a leader in the city, and when it comes to real estate, so there is a lot that is happening. Nothing like the pilot. I'm not trying to learn how to fly a plane, right? And I love Jamie. I just love the story, but connecting with people that already have done the process, right? So I know that honestly, I'm going to be super clear with you guys. I thought NatCon this year was going to be my last meeting. I bought 10 tickets for other of my people. None of them showed up. If you remember, it was the snow. Everybody got all crazy about the snow. And I was so discouraged. And I want to thank God for the man that he placed by my side, Corey, because he allowed me to go to all this conference and stay with the boys back then. And I just remember just sitting there, and I'm like with, a heartache, because I was like, I love this family. I love the Alliance. I can't keep doing this. And it was on a night owl, after a night owl, that I'm going past the bar, and I heard, "Hey, you, come here." And someone just read my book and gave me some tough love. Why are you not on the stage? You have the presence, you have this, and what are you not doing? And so I need to make sure that I have people accountable, because if I just write it down and keep it to myself, I don't have to do it. That's how I am, right? And so I got to make sure that I tell Corey, that I tell Kathy, that I tell, this is what my goals are. This is what, and if I don't do it, then, and I like my I call them Milly moments, my moment of reward. So if you hear me say, I'm gonna have a Milly moment, no phones, no kids, no husband, that's my moment. And so because I like those, right, I like traveling, then that's my goal. I want to make sure that I do the little goals, right? Every night I'm looking at my calendar for the day before. Saturdays, I'm looking, I don't do it at Sunday, but because Sunday is my Monday, I start working on Mondays. And so accountability for me is just having accountability partner.
Awesome. Great stuff. Beth, closing comments?
Well, I'm going to quote the movie Storks. Make a plan, stick to the plan, always deliver. Let's go out there and win the next 30, 60, 90 days.
The last thing that I'll say as we wrap up this call, guys, is this. One of the other big takeaways is surround yourself with good people. I need to give a shout out to the Alliance staff, to Tia Land and her marketing department that put on an incredible conference. Guys, you don't understand all the things happening behind the scenes to make these shows go. All of the Alliance staff, they have everybody it's all hands on deck. And I don't know how many people notice that, but the people running the commissions department, people running the contracting departments, people running everything. They're working on parking, helping with the parking. They're helping with registration, and everybody just does what needs to be done. And the culture that Andy Albright has created is second to none. For us, all we got to do is show up and be attentive and do our jobs. But there is a lot of work that goes on, and I just wanted to recognize and congratulate all of the Alliance corporate staff for putting on another incredible show. Guys, boot camp is going to be even better. How do I know that? Because we're growing as an organization. Where the Alliance is growing, and the speakers are going to be on point, and you want to get your ticket. Remember, prices go up Saturday, so last chance. You got one more day to lock into the discount prices, and like I said, buy an extra one for somebody that is coming. Alliance, Andy Albright, thank you for allowing us to host this activity call. Thank you for everything, and guys, it's just the beginning. Let's go out and win the next 30 days and make a huge difference. Grow that momentum. Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Take care.